Liam was 13 years old. He wasn't the fastest kid in his school, but he loved to run. He trained every day after class, rain or shine. His shoes weren't fancy, and his shorts were hand-me-downs from his older brother. But Liam ran with heart. That's what made him special. This year was a big one. Liam had made it to the regional track meet for middle schools. It was his first real competition outside of town. His mom packed his lunch with a sweet note. His coach clapped him on the back and told him to just run like the wind. But Liam wasn't just running for himself. He was running for something deeper. But sometimes, life throws something in your path that you never expect, something that makes you stop, even when you've trained to never look back. The 1,600-meter race was 4 laps around the track. It was Liam's favorite, not too short, not too long, just enough to pace and then push. The whistle blew. The runners took off. Liam was right in the middle of the pack, breathing steady. That's when he noticed a boy ahead of him, tall, thin and fast. His name was James. James had been leading most of the race. He was known for winning, always fast, always serious. But then, on the 3rd lap, James stumbled. He didn't fall hard, but something was wrong. His ankle twisted, and he hit the ground with a thud. The other runners dashed past. Some didn't see, some didn't care. But Liam, he stopped. He turned around, ran back a few steps, and helped James up. James looked shocked. "Why'd you stop?" he whispered. Liam shrugged. "Because winning isn't everything." Then, they jogged together toward the finish line. What Liam didn't know was that sometimes, doing the right thing doesn't always look right to everyone else. The race was in late April. Spring had just started to bloom. It was the kind of day that smelled like grass and sunblock. Parents sat in the bleachers waving signs and cheering with cowbells. It was Liam's first big meet. For James, it was probably his 10th. Liam knew people would wonder why he stopped. Coaches might be mad, he might lose his spot at next year's race. But deep down, he didn't care. He just knew, at that exact moment, that no race was more important than helping someone in pain. As they crossed the finish line, hand in hand, the crowd stood up and clapped. But not everyone was cheering. Would you stop to help a fallen runner, even if it cost you a medal? Tell us in the comments. Like this video if you believe kindness matters more than winning. Subscribe for more powerful stories about choices that show who we really are. The race took place at a big high school stadium, just outside the city. It had a red track, 8 lanes wide. Tall lights hung overhead. A giant scoreboard blinked with every race. The field was loud that day. Music played from the speakers, announcers shouted names, parents waved from the sidelines. Liam had never been in such a big place. His school back home had one wobbly track, a broken water fountain, and benches that squeaked when you sat down. This place felt big, official, serious. And yet, at that moment, helping James off the ground, it didn't feel like a stadium, it felt like a test. A test of who he really was. But even when your heart is in the right place, rules and results don't always understand kindness. Liam wasn't thinking about medals or trophies when he turned around. He was thinking about something his dad once told him. Be the kind of person someone would want on their worst day. James was having his worst day. And Liam wanted to be that person. He didn't want someone to win alone and broken. He wanted them to finish together. Liam didn't stop to look good. He didn't think anyone was watching. He just saw someone hurting, and he helped. That's it. But later, when the judges made their announcement, Liam's heart sank. An hour after the race, judges posted the results. Liam's name was there, but James's was missing. Next to James's number was a word in bold: disqualified. Liam ran over to ask why. One of the officials told him he accepted outside assistance. That's against the rules. Liam was crushed. That's not fair, he said. I didn't carry him, I just helped him up. But the rule was clear. Once a runner is helped by someone else, their race doesn't count. So Liam did something wild. He took off his medal and gave it to James. You earned this, he said. The crowd gasped. Some clapped, some cried. A reporter even snapped a picture. That photo would soon go viral. But what no one expected was what happened the next morning, when the footage was reviewed. The next morning, the school gym was packed. Students, parents, coaches, even the janitor came in early to find a seat. Liam sat quietly in the back, unsure why he was even called there. He still wore the same hoodie from yesterday. His shoelaces were untied. His heart, still heavy. James was there too. His ankle was wrapped, but he looked proud, like he'd already won something more than a medal. At the front of the gym stood 3 people from the race committee. They had serious faces and clipboards in hand. One of them, an older man with silver hair, stepped up to the microphone. He cleared his throat, looked around, and said, "Yesterday, we watched a moment that made us stop and think." He paused. You could hear a pin drop. We saw something on that track. Not just a stumble, not just a fall. We saw what it means to be human. Murmurs rolled through the crowd. Liam sat frozen. The man continued. The rules said no assistance. But what Liam did, that wasn't interference. That was integrity. The screen behind them lit up with slow-motion video of the race. It showed James falling, Liam stopping, and the 2 boys jogging to the finish line together. "We've reviewed every second," the man said. "Liam didn't break the rules. He reminded us why we have them. To protect fairness. To honor effort, to show heart." Then, with a small smile, he added, "So today, we're changing the rule. From now on, helping a fellow runner doesn't mean disqualification. It means you're leading by example." The room exploded in cheers. Students jumped to their feet. Coaches wiped their eyes. James was called forward. A medal was placed in his hand. But he didn't keep it. He turned, walked straight to Liam, and lifted the ribbon. "This belongs to both of us," James said loud enough for everyone to hear. Then, in front of the whole school, he reached out, and together, they held the medal up high. But the real prize wasn't made of gold or ribbon. It was something much deeper. Liam didn't stand on the winner's podium that day. There was no national anthem, no trophies with his name etched in gold. But when he walked out of that gym, he carried something far more powerful than any medal. He carried a new kind of strength, the kind that comes from doing the right thing, even when no one's watching. Respect. That's what he earned, not just from his classmates, but from teachers, strangers, even rival runners. That week, Liam's story made the local paper, then the state newsletter, then a national sports blog picked it up. People everywhere started sharing the clip. Comments poured in. "He's a real champion. This is what kids should be learning. I showed this to my son." We both cried. But Liam, he didn't care about all that attention. He still laced up his worn-out sneakers every morning, still jogged past the same mailbox, still trained on the same cracked sidewalk. Only now, when he ran, he did it with his head a little higher. And James, he became more than a fast kid with a gold medal. He became Liam's friend. They trained together, laughed together, and every once in a while, they'd pull out the shared medal, smile, and remember what brought them together. Because the truth is, sports aren't just about speed or power, they're about who you are, when no one expects you to be kind. They're about stopping for someone else, even if it means giving up your chance to win. That's real sportsmanship. And that's what makes a true champion. Because in the race of life, the strongest thing you can do is stop for someone else. Would you have given your medal away like Liam did? Share your thoughts below. Like this video if you believe in kindness on and off the track. Subscribe for more powerful stories that prove doing the right thing is always the real win.